Greetings. My name is Eric Guttag, and this is a book review on Russell Bond's War Like the Thunderbolt. Many have watched the classic movie Gone with the Wind, based upon the epic novel written by Margaret Mitchell. Some may even remember the pyrotechnic scene of Atlanta in flames. In his book, War Like the Thunderbolt, The Battle and Burning of Atlanta, Russell Bond, a native of Georgia, uses that scene as his segue to a riveting description of the fighting around Atlanta during the months of July through September of 1864, as well as the burning of the city known as the Turntable of the Confederacy. Well-researched as well as written in a highly readable narrative format, Bond describes not only the drama of the fighting that took place, but also the characters, well-known or obscure, who lived through those perilous 3 months in and around Atlanta. The title for this book is taken from an April 21, 1864 letter addressed to Assistant Secretary of War Charles Dana. It was written by one of the most quotable commanders on the subject of war, Major General William T. Sherman. Know that war, like the thunderbolt, follows its laws and turns not aside, even if the beautiful, the virtuous, and charitable stand in its path. Besides Sherman, Bond provides background on the two Confederate commanders that would oppose him. One was General Joseph E. Johnston, who had just fallen back across the Chattahoochee River north of Atlanta. The other was the sad-faced General John Bell Hood, who would take over command from Johnston on July 17th. Bond then tells how Hood would lead the soldiers of the Army of the Tennessee, the Confederacy's premier Western Army, into 3 savage fights in just over a week to retain control of Atlanta. The first on July 20 at the Battle of Peachtree Creek to the north against the Army of Tennessee's familiar foe, Thomas's Army of the Cumberland. The second, just 2 days later, on July 22nd, was the Battle of Atlanta to the east. In that battle, Hood's men almost defeated the Army of the Tennessee as its commander, James B. McPherson, would be tragically killed during the fighting. The last, on July 28th, was the Battle of Ezra Church to the west, where the outnumbered Confederate attackers fought valiantly but failed horrifically. The fighting for control of Atlanta concluded with the 2-day battle at Jonesboro to the south, when Sherman severed Atlanta's last outside rail connection. That forced Hood's army to abandon the Gate City on September 1, blowing up an ammunition train in a spectacularly loud and fiery pyre that could be heard for miles. Bond's book is also a tale of the civilians who lived through the terrible fighting that took place around Atlanta. That included wholesale daily and nightly bombardment by Union artillery, which devastated the city, terrified its inhabitants, and in some cases killed both young and old alike. After Mayor James M. Calhoun surrendered the city on September 2nd to its Union occupiers, he would send Sherman a letter on September 11 begging for mercy for the city and its inhabitants. In reply, Sherman would issue his famous and chilling response, "War is cruelty, and you cannot refine it." Indeed, as described by Bond, when Sherman and his men departed in late November for their famous march to Savannah, they would leave in their wake an utterly devastated Atlanta with thousands of houses and other buildings burned to the ground. Bond concludes his book with the resurgence of Atlanta from its Civil War ashes, including the return of its destroyer, Sherman, in January of 1879. While given a warm reception by its current inhabitants, the citizens of Atlanta were also, unsurprisingly, glad to see him go. Hope you enjoy it.